Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi al-kareem. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. So I want to talk to you today about how when you are young and you are in the prime of your beauty, it's really important for you to listen to women who have an altered opinion compared to the mainstream feminists. It's easy to get triggered at what we and other women say concerning life goals, how you treat men, and the role of being a happy, pleasant, caring mother. And I think it's hard for some sisters to want to listen to what me and other sisters have to say, because they have the power of beauty manipulation of men for now. When you are in your prime, you are shrouded in a mist of allure, but slowly, those particles of allure will fade. And when they do, you'll notice, because men will start to treat you different. It's just the way some men are. And then as you get older, sometimes you start to notice that the creepier men come to the older women, whereas the men who are a bit more on the good quality, wholesome side have a different ability to get a different age. This is just the way it is. You can't artificially change it. You can't think that a 40-year-old woman is the same as a 20-year-old or 30 to a 20-year-old. It's just not the same. It's hard for us women to admit our age because we're conditioned to pretend to be young forever. Forever 21. We are taught to always think that we're attractive until, deep wrinkles appear. Let's put it that way. And that if any woman realizes beauty fades, somehow she's insecure, which is just not true. And so this led me into thinking more about, you can only be mean to men when you're pretty for a time. And then you're going to realize how much you need men. And the women who say they don't need men, either one, are selling their bodies to men to get money. They have male customers at a normal job, or they're on welfare, which men pay into. Whichever way you cut it, a man is contributing financially to your sustenance, to your, how do I put it? To your being provided for, okay? If it's not your dad, if it's not your spouse, it's the government, which men pay into, or another nefarious means. So you're not exactly independent because you're not getting all female customers. And so understand that the feminists don't want you to hear that fertility has a clock, fertility is important, motherhood is important, and that marriage is not slavery, and that having a low body count is a noble thing, and that being agreeable, being kind, being less naggy, not trying to dominate your man. You can have your disagreements, but if you're constantly beating him down, this is not healthy for you or him, and it can only last while you're pretty. And there'll become a time when you maybe won't be pretty. You could get a disease. You could get burned. You could get in a car accident. You could get cancer. You could get some skin problem. There are so many things in this world that can take away your beauty. And if you only depend upon your beauty to dominate men, instead of having a real person you're connected to, or at least tolerate, right, peacefully, civilly, in order to earn paradise, you're going to run into some problems. Because beauty is promised to fade. You can look at Photoshop images of women with a lot of makeup on, celebrities who've had hundreds of thousands of dollars of plastic surgery, but in the end they look like Madonna. I don't know if you've seen Madonna's newest video, but she looks pretty scary. She's, she's so high on drugs looking at the camera, and her lips are just, she's had so much work done on her lips and her face, it just looks like a space alien. And it's quite sad that a woman in her 50s is still using drugs. She still thinks she's as hot as when she was 20. And it's just recording videos of her being weird high, and you can see the effects of plastic surgery on her body. And on her face in particular. And it's pretty creepy. It's creepy when you see a woman who has not accepted time and gravity, and has not aged with grace and dignity and refinement. And it makes me worry for the young women when they think that being mean to men is attractive. And it makes me fear for them, because they may really like a man one day, and he'll haul off and not simp for them at all. And she might be shocked, because the feminist fake persona, where you can always control a man with your beauty and he'll never snap on you, is just not true. And it's quite dangerous, because the more your simp allows you to abuse him, the more he lets you get wilder and wilder. Well, now you're going to attract a man who is going to be a higher level of you in terms of dominance, and this might lead to some sort of violence. You have to be very careful with how your personality will change, hanging out with aggressive, rabid feminists who deny gender roles, deny biology, psychology, and are trying to force the population into adopting their utopian ideals, their utopia, my dystopian ideals, I'd say. You have to watch out. If you find yourself wanting to be mean to men because they've said some mean things, sometimes you can disagree with certain people on certain topics. I have. But that doesn't mean you hate men overall. I've been heavily abused by men. Heavily. But I still don't hate them, Because you can't hate all men because of what some did. And I need men. I need my grandpa. I need my brothers. They matter. And these feminists who promote this type of mean persona, they're dangerous for your sons, dangerous for your cousins, your brothers, your uncles. Look at Jada Smith, what she's done to Will Smith. She's literally ruined his career, punked him online for the world to see, and more could be said, but that's an evil woman, and she's promoting her vampiric mental abuse, her feminist agenda to the world. And if you were Will Smith's mom, you wouldn't want that for him. So please, don't be mean to men unnecessarily, and know that your beauty will run out, and some men are not bent to beauty. That's important. Some men, even if you're the most beautiful, they won't bow to you. And if you're always used to punking simp men, there'll be a rude awakening when you get around a man who won't bend to you just because you have a beautiful rack or pretty eyes. He ain't gonna fall for it, and then you're gonna be shocked. So instead of just being mean and manipulating men and putting them down, pretending there's a sisterhood of women who are gonna help you, really hear out sisters who have accepted their gender roles, who've submitted, who like being moms and caring. You can still be strong in your own unique way, but don't be wild, rabid, aggressive, domineering, disagreeable. Really watch out for it. Don't close your ears. That's what the feminists want. They don't want you to hear the other perspective. They want... Let's just leave it at that. But think about what I said.